I see part of this grizzly bear just standing there, huffing and puffing, claimed Isabelle's daughter, Leah, who was only 5 years old at the time the bear pulled her mom down from the tree and ruthlessly ravaged her body. "I'm not dying today," Leah whispered to herself as she ran violently. "I was just so scared," she said. "I thought that was going to be it. What are the chances that this is going to happen to me too? I'm not dying today. I'm not dying today." What's up, guys? Iceman here. So what you guys just heard is the account of Leah, the daughter of a woman who died in 2005 by a grizzly bear. Leah almost met her mother's fate as well years later when she was only 17 years old. "I did all the wrong things," she said. "I was thinking, in some ways, that this was what my mom was thinking. I was thinking maybe I was weak. The bear wasn't even doing anything, and I was running away and being frantic, while my mom stood her ground and fought for her life." These are the words of Leah, who fortunately survived, and if only her mother had the same outcome several years previous. But first off, I'd like to thank you guys for all your support on this channel, and I'd like to welcome all my new subscribers. And if you will, like this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And if you want to support me further, you can become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. So let's get into this chilling tale. Isabelle and her friends loved jogging and keeping fit and active. At 35 years of age, Isabelle was determined to maintain her youthful figure, even after giving birth to a daughter only 5 years ago. By all accounts, Isabelle was living life on a continual high note. She had a happily devoted husband with whom she had just spent a week camping and hiking in the mountains. She was able to spend all the time necessary with her 5-year-old daughter, Leah. Having quit her job as a 4th grade French immersion teacher, she had succeeded in climbing Mount Logan, Canada's highest mountain. Family, fitness, and friends. She had it all. She was a beautiful woman with her whole life ahead of her. All the more reason as to why it was such a shame when the grizzly bear ripped her small, helpless body to shreds near the Silvertip golf course on that fateful day. Canmore, Alberta, is a stunning destination that offers an abundance of wildlife and wilderness experiences. The region is a nature lover's paradise, providing visitors with breathtaking views of majestic mountains, crystal clear lakes, and a diverse array of wildlife. One of the most popular activities in Canmore is wildlife watching. The region is home to a variety of wildlife, including bears, elk, bighorn sheep, and many more. Visitors can participate in guided tours and excursions that allow for safe observation of these magnificent creatures in their natural habitats. Watching these animals roam free in their natural habitat is an unforgettable experience, and Canmore provides ample opportunities to do so. Another popular activity in Canmore is hiking. The region surrounding Canmore is filled with some of the most stunning hiking trails in the world. Whether you're a seasoned hiker or a novice, there's a trail for you. The trails range in difficulty from easy walks to challenging multi-day treks, and they offer stunning views of the surrounding mountains and wilderness. Visitors can enjoy the beauty of the outdoors while getting exercise and fresh air. Canmore's crystal clear lakes and rivers offer the perfect setting for canoeing and kayaking adventures. Visitors can paddle through the pristine waters while taking in the scenic views and possibly spotting some of the wildlife along the way. But be cautious when watching the wildlife, because sometimes it watches back. Let's circle the golf course one more time. Isabelle panted to her 2 girlfriends, who, although younger than her, were by no means more conditioned. It was a hot summer day in Canmore, Alberta, when the women decided to go on another morning run. Little did they know, a frantic grizzly bear had just been chased off the golf course they were circling, and it was destined to cross their path. The small group rounded a bend and saw the bear about 20 to 25 meters ahead of them on the same path. They stopped in their tracks and began backing away slowly. The bear turned to them and began trotting toward them with its head low and ears back. Isabelle, without much thought, ran to a tree nearby that had low limbs and began desperately climbing it to get away from the concerning creature. Her friends kept backing away until the bear was no longer in view and immediately sprinted toward the almost half-kilometer distance to the clubhouse at the Silvertip golf course. That's when it happened. They heard the screams of terror, but they kept running. The bear only had to climb to the first low limb of the tree in order to reach Isabelle's bare leg. It started pawing at her foot like a cat, and she tried to kick it away and climb higher, but to no avail. With one final upward swipe, the bear latched onto her foot and pulled her toward it. She released her grasp from the tree as she plunged to the ground with the determined beast, and it began mauling her relentlessly, as though it were stressed from its previous negative encounters with humans. Laying on her belly, Isabelle attempted to crawl away from the creature as it stood on top of her, digging into her back and neck. With ease, the bear flipped her over, exposing her vulnerable side, and it clenched its jaws around her neck as she tried to slap its paws away. Her screams could be heard throughout the golf course, begging for help, but help never came, and it was too late. The bear managed to break both of her arms and neck before Isabelle bled to death on the scene. It clenched its jaws around her face as snot and saliva oozed down her neck. The foul decay engulfed her body. It was a gruesome, painful death that perhaps could have been prevented. A wildlife officer, accompanied by one of Isabelle's jogging partners, returned to the site of the attack, where the officer killed the bear with a single shot. The mountains were her domain. She loved the snow, said Isabelle's husband to the media after the vicious attack. She just settled into the mountains and thrived on it. Yes, there maybe should have been a couple more warning signs that the bear was in the area, said her husband, a native of Banff. Mother Nature does what it does. But one of Isabelle's biking, skiing, and soccer parenting friends, Natalie Yarrow, says her death really is a consequence of bad decisions. The province of Alberta, she says, allocated land for development that should have been allocated for wildlife. Jeez, what do you guys think about this story? You know, after reading into these details a bit more thoroughly through various articles that I found online, it seems that the two friends Isabelle was jogging with actually had the impression that the bear was stalking them as prey. One of the friends claimed that the bear came toward us like he was stalking us. What's even more concerning, in my opinion, is that this very same bear, who was a 4-year-old male, was tranquilized a week previous to this incident and lifted by helicopter 15 kilometers away from the golf course. It was giving some people who were golfing problems, and in one incident, a young woman even had to shout at it in order to get it to back away from her, and a man grabbed a sprinkler on the ground, turned it toward the bear to scare it off. After this incident, they actually tagged the bear with a GPS device so that they were able to locate it if needed. But it's crazy to me how they didn't even take it that far away from the golf course, because of course, as we see in this story, it made its way back without much of an issue. So it's crazy how this bear had a sort of track record in terms of encounters with other humans, and that on its own, to my understanding, can almost encourage the bear to begin seeing humans as potential prey. It was said that the bear was protecting the body of Isabelle, or her corpse rather, after the kill, similarly to how a bear would protect its prey. After all my research in bears, that's one thing you really have to look out for when it comes to black bears, brown bears, and grizzly bears, is if you smell like a rotting corpse while you're walking down a trail in bear country, a bear very well could be protecting it. So if you get too close, the bear is likely to charge at you, thinking you want to take the corpse or whatever. But yeah, what a shame that this young woman had to die. To me, it's just a further reminder to not take a single day for granted, and in my opinion, to always go out prepared. I think it's easy to excuse yourself in some moments from being prepared. Like if you're going on a jog or whatever, you don't really want to have to carry your hand cannon or even some pepper spray or a pocket knife, so you just leave it in the car. But unfortunately, that very well could be the day when you need it. What's interesting is, at the beginning of this video, the daughter of Isabelle, Leah, explained that on that day, many years after the Isabelle incident, when she was going for a jog, she actually decided to keep her bear spray in the car. And that's the day when a bear approached her. But fortunately for Leah, she was able to get away without being harmed. And to my understanding, she made a mental note that day to never go out unprepared again. But what do you guys think could have been done differently in this situation? It's really too bad that she ended up climbing the tree, because of course that's kind of breaking a rule that you don't want to break, where you never leave the group you're with while being approached by a bear. Because of course her two friends kept just backing away from it and eventually ran back to the golf course headquarters, leaving Isabelle alone up that tree. It really seems like that her life could have been saved if she would have just stayed with her friends. But in these situations, you only have moments to react, so it really can be hard to know at the time what the best move to make is. The bear must have really been determined to climb that damn tree after her. And it's important to note that grizzly bears are certainly capable of climbing trees as well. Granted, they seldom do it, whereas black bears climb trees all the time. But still, it should be noted, you really can escape any of these things by climbing trees, and I would really only use it as a last resort. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Once again, if you will, like the video, subscribe to the page, and stay tuned for more chilling tales from the Iceman.